Hello, hello. Just doing some testing really quick. Well, if anyone's watching and you hear music and it's too loud, let me know. Um, or it's too quiet. We want to hear more. I just have like a Zelda chill music thing going on. So let me know. Give me 1 second here. Too much stuff on my desk. Okay. Welcome to our weekly game dev live stream. Today I will be continuing where I left off last time that I was on a few weeks ago. I did a little bit more work on this to kind of finish up the rocks. Obviously I have a little bit more to go. I didn't quite have time to finish it, but I'm almost done, and then we can move on to kind of finishing up this model and taking it into the texturing app, Substance Painter, and adding some texture to it, and we'll kind of have to play around with that, try and match what we have. But I'm just going to spend the next, I don't know, 15 minutes just kind of filling out all this space with stones. So bear with me for a little bit while I do that. Right now I'm just kind of adjusting all the parts of the stone. I don't know if you saw, but I just kind of took, I think it was this one, and just copied it over. So I want to make sure I adjust some of the edges so that there's not like an obvious repeating stone anywhere. I feel like I've done a decent job of not repeating stones, so, or at least repeating them, but also editing them enough to not look like this. I'm gonna copy this one over. Weird scaling, maybe not too much. Almost fits really well there, I think. Scale this more. I think I'm actually. Yeah, it's like sometimes you get real lucky and the stone just kind of falls into place, and sometimes I gotta spend too much time on a stone. Alright, so that one's fitting okay, but it kind of matches this one too much. Maybe I'll just do rotate. Come on, there we go. And then I'll mess with the edges just enough. Kind of separate. Maybe pull this. Get rid of sharp. Take this one. Okay, what do I want here? It's got shape. Get up a little more. Pull this. Pull. And then I'll pull this. I'll pull it that way. Good enough. I'm gonna do here. Kind of a weird. Maybe. That. Actually, no. Just like, I think this is the same one I used a couple ago, so we'll get rid of this corner, honestly. Kinda happy with that. Ooh, I'm getting crazy. This one. I don't want to put a big one in this corner because I have a big one in that corner, and when they like stack next to each other, I don't want to have like two giant rocks right next to each other, because then you'll notice it when it's like in game. It'll be like the most noticeable thing. Your eye kind of just catches the repeating. You see like two big rocks next to each other every 5-10 feet or whatever, you'll start like be like, oh, that's where the seam is. So try to avoid that. See how this, I'm done. I just have this last little corner to do, and then we can move on. Like, I'm just gonna keep messing with it. Happy with where it's at. That. Take like this one, throw it here, go with the edge a little bit, get from the existing one. Whoa. I think my you know what that's, thing that allows bring to like its form. Soft select. Okay, maybe like one long one here, and then like maybe a long one that kind of goes all the way across. Small one here. That should be good. I'll take this. Not long and skinny. And this be long. Well, maybe I'll drink in that this one be one. Let's get the edge moving. That might be good. Maybe I'll add here. I can kind of get rid of this short corner. Make this one. It's gonna look weird if I pull it like over here. Oh, that's cool. Maybe I'll pull it all the way into the corner, and then I'll take this one. That way. And then, sure, why not? Take you, throw you right there. Yeah. Easy as, okay. Now, before I do anything, let's I'm gonna make a, okay, hold on. Let's, how do I want to, I guess I can just delete history. I need to delete history info. Try this again. There we go. Okay, so I'm gonna keep that one over there untouched, and I'll group this under that. Then try way. See how it's gonna look. Turn off. Okay, it's not perfect because it's not snapping like 100% perfect, but like ignoring the line. There's kind of like big gaps. Maybe I need to light it better. Let's try putting a light in here and see. Do a directional light. What is it? Like that. Oh, here we go. Kind of hard because I didn't snap these. And redo this. This points in the corner. Now go that for more. This will hopefully get rid of those lines we were seeing. At the very least. Yeah, not really. Well, kind of. I think that's just the way the stones look. Not feel. Yeah. Not do anything. Let me try something. Add. Add a new material. The Lambert. Why did it only do it to that? Kind of what I was going for. Do it. So much easier. Now add a thing. Where did it put? No. Where did it? Okay. You select. Definitely see the scene. That's not what I want. So how can I do this easily? Start with like That looks like pattern 1. So this is the problem. This going across. I'm gonna try to avoid that as much as possible. Like I could have the pieces overlap, but then it's gonna look weird when it's end piece. Because like just doing that separates that so much, but then the only problem is that when I have overhanging, don't. This is what I was afraid of. That looks really good, but gotta think about it. Is that gonna look weird? Kind of. What if I did like faces? Is it gonna look weird? Oh. I mean, it still looks the same. I mean, you're only gonna see it from this angle, so maybe that won't look bad. Maybe I can just like minimize that while still doing it. Have it hang over like a bit like that. You shouldn't, I mean, I don't know, it's gonna be something, oh, I guess it's all gonna be, but if, okay, hear me out. There's the, what if I like cut this rock in half? Seems that might work, or it might look really weird in the final product. Because if I cut the rock right where that line is and leave this piece on in that corner, it's gonna be really hard to line up. So but also the wood also looks, I'm just, for now I'm gonna leave it and maybe we can test it in the game, and then we'll just kind of go from, yeah, we like, but whatever. Okay, so there's 3 directions. Okay, so one thing I want to do is, I wish I could, there's probably a way to do this to all of them. I don't. So turn that. Oh, you know what? It's because they're all. I'm gonna pull them like that and then do it again like that. Even small. what happens if I soften the edges? I mean, that looks not low poly, the only problem. But that's like, see how it looks with all, and then go from there. I can always soften everything. Maybe I should have done it before. We're here now, doing it. Trying to give it some depth. My goal is to get this at least into sub-containers so you guys can see, well, so maybe I see kind of what I'm going for. So maybe if I'm not done with these by like 850, pull it over and do the thing that I want to do and see how it looks. Actually, it's kind of starting to look cool with hard edges. I'm glad I left it. Misclick a little bit and the whole thing is like, oh, gotta reselect everything. Helps that they're all different shapes and kind of coming out cool. The brain is just having to remember what the buttons are. Reason. Because I'm not modeling in my schoolwork this month. So. It takes me a second to remember all the buttons exactly. But once I get working on it for like an hour, I'm pretty much back into knowing what I'm doing. And cool. Need to start a little bit faster, I think. Kick it into, I don't know why I did overdrive. Do that. Oh no, what's happening? Have a weird face selected, or let me try this. Okay, well, kind of worked. It's getting a little weird. Alright, well, I'm gonna have to accept that one because that one was bugging out. So, why is it weird? Definitely got softened edges. Try thinning the edges. Good enough. Here, let me faces. Now that I'm not in that weird weird. Why does it look much weirder? Whatever. Okay, I'm gonna move on. I was really nervous at that one. They were all just broken all of a sudden. That would... One might look... Not. We're good. I was worried those weird lines were gonna do something funky. Oh no. Be nice. Move it. It's not scaling the middle one. Weird. Grab. I don't know. I don't know why it's doing that with like some of them. Probably the same one as over here broke. I don't have too many more of those. Because those are not... And the reason I didn't do this before I started duplicating all the stones is because when I was editing all the edges to kind of make the stones look different, that would have been a lot harder because I would have had to move a lot of edges basically. In this way I can just kind of, now all the edges are already kind of randomized. So, I mean, I guess it kind of just takes longer either way. Just depends on what I'd rather take longer doing, and this takes less thinking. So, like, normally, if I wasn't streaming, I'd probably have like a movie or a YouTube video or something going on this to entertain me while I did this mindless activity. Okay, we're getting there. Finish this corner off. And then we'll slowly move. Oh my gosh, can you please grab? Move across and be done. Oops. No. Hey, what? You hate me. What? Ignore that. Do that, and then now I can build the. Okay, that seemed to have worked. Soft. Why? Also, is that? I don't know. Definitely not the most exciting, but someone's got to do it. I don't mind it. Every time I do that, I'm worried it's gonna break. Well, I've kind of figured out a solution to it now, so not as annoying. But I don't know if I'd want to walk on this. Your ankles are gonna get broken in all these cracks and stuff. But that's not the point. The point is to make it look, I don't know, unique, interesting to look at. And this honestly might be too busy. We'll have to kind of play around with in game and see how. So close. What do I do? Keep pressing the wrong button. Only a few more. Then we can get to the, I guess, the exciting part. At least it's something new to look at. Something that I find fascinating. Ever since I learned it, I was like, oh, that is a very handy tool. Never heard of before. Last one. Oh yeah, that looks really cool. I like that. The only thing I do want to do is I kind of want to lower them all too much. That, and then make. How do I do this? It's been a while since I've done this particular thing, but I think. Nope, no. I don't want that. Do assign new material. Oh, here we go. Assign a blend. And we'll call this stone. Oh, what I should do. Okay, hold on. Do I really want to? I don't want to mess with that. I'm probably going to go back in and kind of select like a third of the stones, put one material on it, another third a different material. That way the stones are like slightly different colors. But for now, just to do proof of concept, I'm going to do just all of them as stone underscore that for material. And then this one I will add blend. We'll call this dirt material. And then I actually want to do, I don't want to make it super obvious. That one. And then let's go back. Where is it? Stone material. Do these like there. Now I have those separated. This will make sense when it's all said and done. Okay. I'm going to clone that again. My original clone, that clone, this one. I need to. What do I need to? I need to combine everything. Combine. Now it's one object. Put this in the bottom corner. Let's delete history, freeze. Then I'm going to view this corner. Delete history for storms. Well, and then have these overlapping. So that's in the same exact spot. I gotta name them. What is the other one? This one. Call this stone underscore floor underscore low. And then this one we'll call stone underscore floor underscore high. Next to each other. Uh-oh. Put it in a folder on it. So now I have stone floor low, stone floor high. Export those. Oh, I'll just put them on my desktop for now. You can see I was kind of messing with this on wood earlier. Why is it? Ooh, I don't want to sit here and look for a setting that makes copy. And right now I'm doing the low, so I'll do stone floor low. And then port this one. Stone. Click on that, so it has to be spelled the same or else it won't work. High. Okay, so let me save this. I got 15 minutes, that should be enough time to figure this out. Hoping that this works. If it does, it could help our game runs. Okay. Do a new project. Stone floor low. Resolution doesn't necessarily matter. Okay. Okay, so there's my quote unquote low resolution cube. Then if I set open the high resolution, puts it there. Do this to make sure there's no red through. Red match mesh name. I gotta check there. We'll do some anti-aliasing. ID gonna work. Hope the ID map works. That's kind of necessary, but it could just work. So that's the red and the blue that I set up in the other software. Here we go. Basically gonna create shadows. Oh yeah, there's the ID map. I'm gonna create shadows to make it look like the 3D high resolution one that I had and project it onto the low resolution. So fingers crossed that that worked. And yeah, that worked. Now, just to kind of play around, let me find. There's a stone that I used for the stones in our game. I think it was this one. How do I? Hold on. Okay, so this stone. Too big. This probably won't work, this texture, but just for right now, actually, like, this looks cool, but then, like, this does. But let's, maybe it will when I fix the, what's it called, mask. Remember how to do, oh, add mask with color select. Mask, pick a color. Hey, there. Ooh, that looks kind of cool. Now, if I do like a, I have like a dirt, sand. Might look, this one might look good. me do some more like that might look cool. Okay, let's do a mask with color selection. Color, then we pick the blue. Not bad, and then I can play with the sand color and make it why is it dark? Probably another, maybe it's this. Nope. Sand type. Oh, okay. I don't like the way it was. That looks kind of cool. I just want it to be, well, I guess what I can do, just add a fill layer. Make that like dark, and then just the opacity. That's kind of cool. The only problem that I have now is when they're like next to each other. You can easily see the seams just because there's a line of dirt that covers the whole thing. So I need to figure out what the best way to, like, it might just have to be where like I put a rock here. I realized I was just pointing at my under and you guys can't see what I'm doing. Like kind of how I took like this rock, or I don't remember which one, maybe it was this one, and I pushed it off the edge, but then it would just push off the edge on that side and then bleed in on this side to create like a tiling texture that doesn't have such a harsh seam. But yeah, you can see like this is just a flat rectangle. Nothing special about it. Then you go like this, and it looks like it has depth. Really quick, I just want to try something. Add another fill layer at the bottom. That's what I think. There's these little spaces. If I go white, you can see them, and if I go black, you can still see them, but I feel like that almost adds to like the cell shading that we have. I guess the other problem is this will not cell shade. It'll cell shade the edges, but it will not cell shade all the rocks on top. So that's another problem. That is something I'm going to have to talk to the guys about, because I don't know. That might look weird. Or I can add my own cell shading, which would be a pain, but not the end of the world. I just don't know how, if like my like drawn on cell shading is like stagnant, and like the cell shading in the world kind of like reacts to where the camera's at and all that kind of stuff, then it might look weird. But like I could go in and add like, I mean, I'm sure that I could probably figure out an easier way to do it, but like do straight up black and just kind of obviously this is very sloppy and it would not look like this, but essentially create my own cell shading. It's also weird because like the way the 3D-ifying effect works is like we're looking at like this side of the rock and not this side of the rock, but even if we turn around, you can still only see that side of the same side of the rock because of the way it picks an angle and it just kind of goes from that angle, but like, bam, cell shading, that's not quite correct, but like obviously that's not what we're going for. That looks like toddler drew on rock. Yeah, I'll have to figure that one out. I didn't think about that. Because the other scenario is, let's open a new window. Oh, this is, I didn't save it. I mean, this didn't take me that long. So the other solution, which is what we're already doing and might be a problem in the long run, is using the actual model. But that slows down the computer, slows down our game, lowers the frame rate, all that stuff. But this is one. Oh, you gotta go to stone. Oh, nice. The way I divided it makes it super easy. Totally meant to do that. Oh, I didn't UV these things. So they're gonna look super weird. That's what all these like stretch marks are. I didn't. When you do the technique that I did for this one, you don't have to do UVing on all the high resolution stuff because it's using the UV of the low resolution, which is, or if you've never done this before, that makes absolutely no sense. But this is the other side. Make it brown. But this way, it has all these edges that that Unity, the software that we make the game in, can see, and that's what it uses for the cell shading, which is all like the black lines that are kind of like around all of our models and stuff in the game. Kind of like add a, not like a cartoon effect, but like it's like a style that we like, and it kind of adds a little bit character to the game. So yeah, is a problem that we will have to figure out. It's like on Borderlands is like the biggest cell shaded game. Like that, you think of that game, you think of like cell shading. And I think on a lot of their stuff, they hand paint a lot of the cell shading in, at least for like characters and stuff. But they know what they're doing. Those people are the experts, and someday I'll be there. But also hand painting pictures, as you saw with my beautifulness right here. Obviously, I quickly did that, not trying. Not necessarily my forte. Honestly, the black line that I did on this outside kind of already gives it that cell shading look. My only problem with this is it doesn't look like, well, never mind. I was gonna say it doesn't look like a stone floor, but it is a stone floor. This is what you would do for a stone floor. I mean, aside from like getting blocks of stone and like making them fit perfectly, but like this is like a very basic stone floor, cobblestone. But yeah, I don't know. We'll have to figure that one out. Let me save these so I have them. Probably not going to use them ever again. Stone floor low. Not that I won't use them ever again. Like honestly, that other one kind of looked better than this one. I mean, this one looks bad just because of like this weird stuff going on, but I could definitely put more time into this one and it'll look better than the low resolution. But for like what our game is and what we're doing, like that low resolution might be. This I but anyways, thank you for watching. 1 million of you. We're not doing a stream on Sunday. It's Easter, so celebrate it. Enjoy. If not, enjoy your weekend. We will be back Wednesday. I'm not sure what game we'll be playtesting, but we will be playtesting another indie game. And then we'll be back again the following Sunday with our next playtest for our game. So you can join us for that too. So, all right. Thank you for watching. Have a good night.